Spellbinders Grand Caliber die cut and emboss system with the dies. But this is unlike anything else that you've ever seen. It cuts, it embosses, and it stencils all in one pass. And the creator of that system is actually Spellbinders, but also the creator and the inventor and the creator and the designer of these great designs joining us here today. So please help me in welcoming on in Stacey Karen into the show. You're the president of the company. We love having you here with us.
Great to be here.
This is, you know, when this first kind of came about,
yes,
everybody was so excited about it. We haven't seen it now in almost 2 years.
Yep, it's been 2 years.
Almost a $200 value. Show us what this will do for somebody who doesn't know.
This is such a great machine because it's the wider version of a lot of the machines that are in the market. So we had a lot of requests for a wider format die cutting machine. So in this category, it's a great value. You can do multiples, you can multitask, you can run lots of dies through at one time. So it's a lot of fun.
All right, this is actually the widest of all of them that are out there. So
yes.
Let's show you.
And what's so great is you get all the mats that you need with the system. So want to die cut and show them what
Let's do it.
All right. So what I have here are some dies, the cards here that we made. We have some dies right here. And this is a little tip. Our dies cut, emboss, and stencil. So if you take a piece of tape and you actually put this on the back of the cardstock, you can actually make this shape card. So you have a regular matting kind of die, but you can also make the shape of the card itself, which is cool. So we're going to put on the base plate, and then we're going to put the cutting mat on top, and we're going to roll it through the machine. So you notice how big the mats are. Can do multiples, and the mats don't warp, which is a big deal in die cutting because after time, the pressure of the machines will warp the mats. So this machine definitely is good for that. So we're going to roll it through. So the first pass through the machine will cut your shape out, and then you can stop there if you want. You don't have to emboss if you don't want to. You can stop, but if you choose to have added detail, you can actually emboss, and you use the embossing mat for that. So first out, we have die cuts. You see the cuts there?
All the cuts, all the detail, everything all in there.
And you can actually see the actual marks in the mat, which is fine. Put that aside because you're done with it, and then you're going to emboss. So just put that rubber mat on top of the base plate. So no changing of the mats, just add this on top, run it through a second time with the pink mat, and you're good to go. Now this is going to put all the detail into the die cut.
I'm still always amazed whenever I watch this to see it happen.
It is cool. And you know, a lot of times, even like with the Cricut machines, they'll use that, they'll cut out the shapes, and then they'll emboss it in these kind of machines to get the detail.
Let me see.
Fun. So here we go. We're going to pop it out.
Wait till you see the incredible detail that this does. And you were actually the inventor that actually started the ability to cut, emboss, and stencil.
It's been 10 years.
At the same time.
Yes. So Spellbinders brought the technology of cut, emboss, and stencil. Can you see that in there?
Yes. Here, I was going to say.
Okay.
Here we go.
So then the next really cool thing about this system is not only can you cut and emboss, but you can stencil. So if you have a die cut and you run it through, run this one through.
And now coming along with this as well, we're also going to get the Shapeabilities Delights die template, which has that fantastic flourish too. You have the Nestables die templates. You also have the fancy frame tags that are going to come along with this. You have the Delights die template in the whimsical tree, I think, and then the window too.
Yes, so what's good is you can actually build. This is a really nice set for beginning card makers and scrapbookers. They can actually add and mix and match their die cuts.
Okay, so which ones come with it, just so we can...
The tree, the whole pile right here in front of you.
Yep. So this is what you're actually going to be receiving right along with it. Now, you can also use other dies that you have, too. So you're going to be able to make that beautiful die. You're also going to be able to make that gorgeous framed edge border that we were just sharing with you. You're also able to do the window. Then we have all the different kind of frames.
Correct.
Is that right? And then, oh, look at those. Aren't those pretty, too? Beautiful frames, and there we go. I can kind of show them to you that way,
So I cut this die out.
Sometimes it's easier to show it from the front, sometimes from the back, but this one, I think, was easier from the back.
That's a nestability, and then you can mix the frames and the tags with it. So now I just took some ink on a little applicator, and we're just going to run this through because the die is open. So you can actually color like a stencil.
Oh, nice.
Just to give you the idea. Pop this out. And this is how we're different than everybody else.
I was going to say, the fact that you can do that and you can go right on in and you can add that little bit of color.
Perfect little window. You can open up the window, pop it on the front of the card, you're done.
You can do the letter pressing with this. You're also getting the raspberry embossing mat along with this as well.
Right.
That you're going to want to have with what we've got coming up.
I know,
too.
it's amazing. Just a little thing about the letter pressing. If you actually ink the die on the cut side of the die and run it through, these dies will act as letterpress.
Oh,
as well as embossing folders.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually letterpress these dies. Just run ink over the top, run it through the machine, and you'll have the ink transfer onto the paper. So everywhere that there's a debossed groove in the die cut, you'll have color versus the other way. So it's just opposite of embossing.
Look at that.
Fun, huh?
That is detail right there. Look at that.
Very nice.
You can actually even open the window.
You can even open the window. But the biggest thing is it's wide. You can do lots at one time. And a lot of mothers are busy, so they don't have time. They want to have it all done at once.
You're going to get it all today at $119.95. It's on 4 flexible payments at only $29.99 is going to be the price as you're ordering it today. Remember, you can cut, emboss, and stencil. The mats on these do not bow, so you never have to worry about that. You can also use this with others that you might already have. So if you have other dies, this is going to work with it. And probably because it's also that nice larger size, this is one of the largest that I know of. It actually has that wide individual machine. It's actually 8.5 inches.
Yes, it's the widest machine in its class.
That's very nice.
It's nice, huh? There's even a little handle here that you can actually flip over, and then this will secure it down to the table. So that's nice too.
Oh, so
especially when there's it locks it to the table. So when the kids are running around, you don't knock it off the table. You know how that goes, right? I have 2 boys, so you never know what's going to happen in the house.
Now we have additional dies that are also available for you as well.
Yes.
So
very
we want
nice.
to share with those.
Those are the embossing folders. Yeah, the additional dies that you can actually get online. These are examples of those dies right here. So the building on the core philosophy is important because Spellbinders is the only company that actually builds on the core. That means when you buy a circle die and you want to add on a fancier circle die, we actually configure and make everything match together. So you're actually building on your system.
So there are 2 different ones. You can do one that's going to be the classic shapes, or then we also have one that's the ornate shapes. And those are only $44.95, and you'll get 4 of those.
Great value.
You'll get the ovals, the rectangles, the squares, and the circles, and then you just choose whether you want the classics or whether you want the ones that
So it's a great starter set, really. Or even if you want to upgrade your machine to be able to do wider type things.
All right, so kind of taking us back again, starting from start to finish. Let's explain everything that comes in here. So you are going to receive the machine.
The Grand Calibur machine, yes. And you're going to get all the mats that you need for cutting and embossing.
Okay.
And then you're also going to get this wonderful die collection, which then will allow you to continue to build on the core as your collection evolves. Because you know crafters like to evolve.
We do.
We do.
So you're getting all of this.
All of that, and the machine.
And the machine.
Yes.
And now the raspberry mat.
The raspberry mat is very special. We have embossing folders that you have never seen before. They are 3-dimensional, 3D contoured and sculpted embossing folders. Wow. So the detail you can see in the frame here, the detail is just amazingly beautiful, and it almost looks like works of art. Each folder is an individual work of art. What's so cool is no one else has this technology. It's just beautiful.
That's gorgeous.
So if you have like a, you want to go to a party and you want to give like a hostess a gift, just run it through the machine on foil, put it in a frame, and you're ready to go. And it looks like you went to the store and bought something.
And that's going to come with the
And
3D?
That's what the Raspberry Plate accompanies. Correct. So, want to see what this does?
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so these folders are different than what you may have seen before. You actually open these up, and you have 2 sides to the folders.
Now, are these the ones that are coming up, or, I'm sorry, it's not in this collection, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we'll wait for a second, because I think we do have a separate presentation on that. So that will be this one coming up in moments, but I do want to let everybody know that that's coming up. So in this, you are going to receive the shapeability.
Correct.
You've got everything that you need right here. So you have the window. So here's our window. That's the little open window that we just did.
The flourish.
There's the flourish. Then we also have the whimsical tree. You have all of the different labels that you can do, the nestabilities, and then
tags.
You have all of your tags.
And so when you add on to your collection, these are just regular circle dies. You would actually add on to fancy and then dress it up. So you're building on the core. Same here.
Beautiful. All right, let's show everybody again how this works and how we do it.
All right.
Because I think it's so cool to see the detail.
So actually, this one I've actually cut out already. So I'm going to just use this one.
Okay.
So I've already cut it. Now we're going to emboss it. So basically, you just use your embossing mat and your rubber plate. Now you notice how the die cut's flat right now.
Yes.
There's no detail.
So you just place it on there.
And you use your base plate. And then you roll it through.
It's so simple and so easy to do.
Oh, and here's a tip. You can roll it through and stop and roll it back. That way you don't have to roll it all the way through if you don't want.
Oh, nice.
Isn't
if you know it's just up in the top corner.
You just have to know the little tips and tricks. That's all.
Especially when you're doing a little smaller detailed ones.
Exactly.
Now, can you do multiples at a time, too?
Yes, you can line up the whole
nice.
plate. Entire plate can be lined up with dies, run it through. So if you're doing Christmas cards or you're doing holiday cards or birthdays, you can get it all done really quick.
I like that.
Okay, so now we can actually use ink. We can actually color through.
Okay. Oh, move the machine out. No, they can see it, actually.
Okay. You can color through.
Because these are open windows.
Yes, just because they're window dies.
And look how easy those pull apart, too. Now, what kind of paper or what will this work on? What can we cut up?
Oh, gosh, you can use everything that you use in crafting. You can use fun foam, paper, foil, all kinds of things. Cork,
and
leather,
it's going to be able to cut
fabric.
right through that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Love it.
Yep. So for mixed media art, it's really good because everybody knows mixed media art's really popular right now. A lot of people doing a lot of things with gesso, and they slather it on leather, run it through the machine, emboss it. It's great.
Now let's show you some of the individual projects too that we've done.
Okay. So this is showing labels 1, the nestabilities in the pack in the middle here, and then as an add-on, you can add on the other shapes to it. So this actually shows you how we married the fancy to the plain.
Pretty.
You can see that there.
Okay.
This is another add-on. You can actually circle die with the little scallop around the edges.
Now, is that under the classics or in the...
This is under the classics.
Okay, under the classics.
Under the
shape.
classics.
So there's a circle, but it's got a little bit of additional detail.
Now, you can see here, this is one of the fancies. And then down here, you can see how we use it in a different way. So basically just cutting the card apart and then just using it as little, like, table cards.
Perfect. 325-184. It's from Spellbinders. They are the originators and the creators of actually doing this, where you can do it all at once. So you're going to be able to cut, you're going to be able to emboss, you're going to do all of that detail all at the same time. So for those of us who like to multitask and you want to get that extra work done, I mean, we have great cutting pieces and great cutting machines, but this is also going to give you all of that embossed detail. You get that great raised detail.
You get the great raised detail
on this too, which I think is incredible.
That's what we're known for.
And then we've got coming up.
Yes, that's exciting.
The folders that I don't want you to miss out on, because that's coming up for you in just the next couple of moments and seconds. 325-184. It's $119.95. It's about $60, almost $70 off the retail value, and it's on 4 flex payments. $29.99. We've got the best possible value right here on HSN. Now, here's what we also have available for you. These are the shape dies, and you're